Unicorns Talk is a weekly podcast where we discuss the ups and downs of the human experience, from personal growth to romantic relationships and everything in between. This show is for life livers, life lovers, and life enhancers. My name is Latrice Sampson Richards, your life enhancement coach, and together we're going to laugh, love, and learn to maneuver all of life's little messes. Let's go. Hey everybody, it's Latrice Sampson Richards here. I am a licensed professional counselor, a certified life purpose and relationship coach for Black women who are looking to heal from their past and build a future that they deserve. And you are tuned in to episode 21, I think it is, of Unicorns Talk podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in today. This is the last week of the month, y'all. Last week of the year. 2017 is officially coming to an end, and this has been a really great year for me. We'll talk more about that later, but I didn't get a chance to do an episode last week, and I apologize to y'all for that. I've been traveling and stuff for the holidays, and I forgot my laptop in Cuba, and so it is safe. Don't worry, it's safe, but I didn't have access to it, so I wasn't able to record for last week. But it really kind of just pushed me to do some things different, because I've been really meaning to get like a portable recording device so that I could do my podcast wherever I am. And so it really actually kind of worked out, because it forced me to get up and do some shit different, you know. So I'm grateful for that, and getting this episode out to y'all today. I appreciate you all for tuning in. Today I am going to be talking about New Year's resolutions and why your New Year's resolutions fail. This is a really big topic, I think, for everybody, right? Because this time of year, everybody is looking to like do something different or to change their lives and things like that. But statistically speaking, almost half of people who set a New Year's resolution by February, it's like out of sight, out of mind, okay? Like that we are typically not successful at maintaining our New Year's resolutions. And this is something that I learned a couple years ago. And so I actually don't do New Year's resolutions anymore. What I've started doing is just making kind of like a to-do list. And it's basically like shit I want to do before the end of this year, which is goals that I want to accomplish. And so, again, we'll talk about that later on. But I want to kind of give you some insight as to why you may be struggling or have been struggling to fulfill your New Year's resolutions, and then give you a few tips, just some general tips to help you to, make it more likely that you will be able to be successful in accomplishing your goals this year. 2018 is a big year for us, y'all. I keep telling y'all that. I feel it. It's going to be a big year for us. And so I want to do everything I can to help you get prepared for that and to help you get on target with making your goals a reality. All right? Real quick, I'm not in my normal recording space. And so you may hear some noises in the background, like that noise right there, which I think is like the smoke detector or something like that. Please forgive me, y'all. I'm trying to make this thing happen for y'all, even though it's a completely abnormal situation for me. I usually get to record in my nice little, quiet little space, but when in Rome, I suppose, if that's the euphemism I'm looking for. But anyway, y'all just bear with me, because we're gonna get through this thing. All right. I'm also gonna do a couple of high fives today. Y'all know how I love a high five, so I'm gonna do a couple of high fives today as well. Make sure that you stick around to catch that. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. So like I said, we're going to be talking about our New Year's resolutions, right? So it's the week before New Year's. 2017 is officially coming to an end. 2018 is ushering itself in. It's so crazy, because I feel like the year goes by so fast. Like every single year, it goes by so fast. Like this time last year, I was in a completely different headspace. I mean, I don't know about you, but I was was in a completely different headspace this time last year. I was literally in a completely different physical space as well this time last year. And so the year goes by so quickly. Every year people set these New Year's resolutions, and I don't know, it's like we think like everything is going to be different once we set this resolution, or because the new year is a very symbolic time, it's like a fresh start. A lot of us see it as a fresh start. And, we kind of come up with this idea of all of these things that we're going to do. And then for one reason or another, we never really get an opportunity to manifest those goals, right? So first off, I want to talk a little bit about why that is, okay? Like what makes it so difficult? What is the struggle in terms of sticking to a New Year's resolution? Well, one of the first things I think is that there's a lack of motivation, okay? Like you have to be deeply connected to the thing that you're trying to change in order for it to stick. I think it was last year, maybe, last year. See what I'm saying? The year goes by so fast, y'all. Last year I did a webinar called Change Gonna Come, and it is a free webinar, and I offer it for free to people who join my free Facebook group, my closed Facebook group, Trust Village, and I'll talk about that later on in the episode as well. But I did this webinar earlier this year rather, called Change Gonna Come, and in that I really talk about the different aspects of change and what it takes to make a change successful. Listen, the bottom line is that change is difficult. It's hard to make any kind of changes, especially changes that are significant in your life, all right? If the payoff that you get for continuing to engage in a negative behavior or the negative thought process, if that payoff is greater than the benefit of making the change, then you're going to fail at your resolution. You have to really, really want it, okay? So the motivation has to be there. It can be internal motivation or external motivation, depending on what that external motivator is. It could be a significant motivator, all right? But you have to be deeply connected to the change that you're trying to make, meaning that the motivation level needs to be sky high in order for you to really be able to stick to it. It has to be something that the benefit of making that change is significant enough to you that you are willing to stick with it even when it gets difficult. Because the reality is that change is hard. Change is difficult, okay? If it wasn't, everybody would be out here doing it, okay, including myself, all right? So you have to really, really want that change. You have to make sure that the things that you're attempting to change or the things that you're setting these goals around are things that you are highly motivated to do, all right? So that's the first thing, is the lack of motivation is likely one of the primary reasons that you're not being successful with your resolution. The second one is that I think we set unrealistic goals, okay? So we tend to set ourselves up for failure because you're not taking into consideration where you are currently, right? Whenever I'm working with clients, I always tell my clients, like especially like in couples counseling and things like that, I always tell my clients, you have to meet people where they are currently, not where you want them to be, right? So we definitely want to keep in mind where I want you to be, or like what the end goal is, but make sure that you're being, realistic about where you are currently, all right? Like you can't say, okay, I want to run a marathon, but you can't even walk a whole mile without gasping for air, right? You can set a long-term goal, but you also need to consider the smaller short-term goals that will get you there, all right? Given your obligations, given your resources, what can you actually achieve? What can you actually manifest in your life, all right? And if it is a much bigger goal than what you can handle right now, and you start breaking it down into those smaller short-term goals or action steps, all right, then you need to ask yourself, do you need to attain additional resources? resources? Do you need to reduce your obligations? Like, what needs to happen in order for you to be able to manifest this goal, right? So you always want to take into consideration where you are currently. Now, I'm not saying don't push yourself outside of your comfort zone. I absolutely want you to push yourself outside of your comfort zone. And I'm not saying that just because you don't have the space or the time for, whatever this goal might require of you right now in this moment, that you shouldn't even bother. I'm not saying that at all. But what I am saying is that in order for you to create the time and the space or the resources that you need, you have to first be realistic about where you are, okay? And make sure that those goals take into consideration where you are currently. And then you work into the goal as action steps or as short-term goals, the means by which to get yourself to the larger goal. I hope that makes sense for y'all, okay? All right. The third thing I think that keeps us from really being able to be successful in terms of manifesting or achieving our New Year's resolution is a biggie for me. It's like the biggest one for me, to be honest. It's that we set unrealistic expectations for the outcomes, okay? So unrealistic expectations for the outcomes, all right? How many times have you set a goal, like you set a resolution at the beginning of the year and you're like, girl, yes, this year I'm going to lose 150 pounds, right? And once I lose this 150 pounds, my confidence is going to go through the roof. I'm going to get me a man. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. But the reality is that losing that weight can definitely have a major impact on your life, but it's not going to solve all of your problems, girl. That's not going to happen, okay? Making a single change can have a major impact on your life, but it will not solve all of your problems. So when you are embarking upon setting these New Year's resolutions, you have to make sure that you're being realistic about your expectations for the outcomes, all right? You want to pay attention to whether or not you're focusing on the surface issue or on the core issue, all right? You want to focus more on the core because the core issues are what lead to long-term success, all right? A surface issue is the thing that you actually see or like the behavior that you actually engage in. Things like overeating, failing to exercise, or like saving money, okay? The core is the root cause of the surface issue. So, for example, body image issues or low self-esteem or like lack of self-trust or like a negative relationship with money. More of those thought process kind of things, those internal processes that allow or perpetuate the surface issues to continue, all right? Focus more on the core changes rather than simply addressing the surface issues. And that way you can have more opportunities for long-term success. Now, you obviously want to address the surface issues, right? Like you may want to put yourself on a meal plan or something like that, or come up with some type of plan for eating, some type of schedule for your eating and things like that to make sure that you're not overeating. But in the long term, you need to address what is causing the overeating. Is it the emotionality? Are you emotionally eating? Are you self-medicating? Are you dealing with some emotional issues that you're really trying to suppress by eating? Like, you need to deal with the underlying cause of the surface behavior. Address the surface behavior as well, but really focus your energies on the things that's causing the problem, not just the problem itself, okay? And then you can set more appropriate expectations for your outcomes. Because if you are addressing the actual issue, all right, if you are addressing the actual issue, then you have a higher likelihood of maintaining the changes and maintaining the success, all right? Like the Bible say, give a man a fish, he eat for one day. Teach a man to fish, he'll eat for a lifetime, right? It's the same basic idea, okay? You have to address the root cause of the issue. If you don't know how to fish, it's not going to make a difference. You're going to starve. You're always going to be on the brink of starvation. Okay? All right. Let's see what I have next for y'all. So those are just my top 3 in terms of reasons that maybe your New Year's resolution is not working out for you every single year. And now I just want to give you a few general tips to help you to be more successful in terms of setting resolutions or goals or to-dos, if in my case, for 2018. The first thing is make sure that you're setting SMART goals. And so I've talked about SMART goals a gazillion times with y'all. Y'all are very familiar with the idea of SMART goals. If you listen to the show, go back to, I think it's like episode 17 or 18 or something like that. Or you can join my free closed Facebook group, Trust Village. And I do a whole live stream just on SMART goals and breaking that down, okay? So I'm not going to go into great detail on SMART goals, but I am going to kind of give you a quick overview, right? So you want to make sure that your goals are SMART. You want to make sure that they are specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time stamped, okay? Specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time stamped. If your goals can encompass all 5 of those areas, all right, then you have a higher likelihood at being successful in terms of achieving those goals. All right. So make sure that your goals are SMART goals. Be smart about it. All right. The second tip that I have for you is give yourself credit for the baby steps. I think this is really difficult for a lot of us because we tend to just look at where we want to be. And when we look at where we want to be and we see that we're not there yet, we get disheartened and it's hard and we feel like we're not making any progress. And so I always stress to my clients and the people that I work with that you have to give yourself credit for the baby steps. Every little step counts. Okay, it may not be a giant leap, but it's getting you closer to where you want to be, and it counts. All right, and it should be celebrated. You should be able to celebrate those baby steps just as much as you celebrate those major milestones. Okay, because the baby steps are what get you to where you're going. The leaps and bounds might happen here, there, every now and then. Every now and again, those leaps and bounds might happen for you, but the reality is that change happens in the baby steps. Okay, so celebrate those baby steps. Give yourself credit for each and every teeny tiny little step. No step is too small to be celebrated. Okay, now don't celebrate too hard though that you forget to go back and complete the goal that you're trying to accomplish. And then finally, be present, okay? You have to be present. You cannot look too far ahead. You can't look too far behind. I always say you want to plan for the future, learn from the past, but live in the here and now, okay? Being present allows you to really be able to dig into your goals and make sure that you're doing everything that you can right now in this moment to be successful. One moment at a time, one decision at a time, one day at a time. Whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish, that's how you're going to get it done. One day at a time. And that requires you to be present and in every moment, okay? Don't look too far ahead. Don't look too far behind. Be here. Be here, be now, all right? So that's all I have for y'all in terms of tips and things to help you to accomplish your goals. I don't have any transition music today, y'all, because all of that is on my laptop and I just don't have it, okay? But up next, I'm going to do high five. And I have a couple of high fives to do today, but this is the year-end kind of version of high fives today, all right? The first high five I want to give is for all of my new group members, for my Trust Village, for my closed Facebook group, Trust Village, okay? I want to give you all a high five because you just really jumped in and got involved, and, you know, really high five for making the decision to heal and manifest and allowing me to participate in your journey. I know I tell y'all this all the time, but I really take it seriously. I know that you know, this is a turning point in your lives, and that this is, you know, something that can make or break a lot of you, you know, and I don't take that lightly at all. So I really appreciate y'all for allowing me to participate in your journey. Like I said, I do have a closed Facebook group called Trust Village, a safe space for healing and manifestation. And it is geared toward African American women who are ready to heal from their past and build a future that they deserve. And so I started off with 22 group members, and in just over 2 weeks, we're up to almost 150. And it's slow but steady. You know, and actually very quick, to be honest. It's moving relatively a lot faster than I expected for it to grow. And so I'm really looking forward to all of the work that's going to happen there. There's a lot of perks you get for being in that group, a lot of freebies and things like that. So follow me on Facebook, you know, and join my Facebook group. Be a part of the village, Trust Village. There's some dynamic things happening over there, and I'm super duper excited about that. So high five to all of my Trust Village group members. I also want to give a high five to all of my listeners, everybody that's tuned in. I really want to give y'all a high five for giving me your ear each and every week and allowing me to be a part of your lives. Thank you for tuning in, and thank you for celebrating with me every step of the way. You know, I get so much encouragement. People send me messages on Instagram and on Facebook, and sometimes people even send me text messages and things like that. And so just like, hey girl, I listened to the show this week, or I think one person said, I love listening to you. So I really appreciate that. I had a couple weeks ago, I did the interview with Candace Danae from Black Mary Fly podcast. Hey y'all, high five to Black Mary Fly. And anyway, when I listened to their next episode, and Treb was like, oh, I love listening to her, and I wish she could be my therapist. And I said in my head, Treb, if you're listening, I was like, I wish I could be your therapist too. Because you're like a good, I think you would be a good client, you know, because you would actually, I think, implement the changes. And so anyway, high five to all of my listeners, and thank you so much for every share, every download, every like, every comment. And you know, here's to 2018. We're going to grow and grow and grow. All right. What else? I have a high five for 2017. High five 2017. This has been one of the most amazing and scary years for me. I have had a tremendous amount of ups and downs this year, but I definitely feel like I'm coming out of it much stronger than I went in. And so high five to 2017. You tried to take me out, girl. You tried to take me out, and then you lifted me up, and then, you know, you threw me all around. And I think at the end of the day, you know, I've been able to conquer you. And so high five goes out to 2017 for all of the craziness that you have brought. And then last but not least, I want to give a high five to 2018, okay? I am looking forward to everything that you have for me. I'm looking forward to the show guests that I've already gotten. Some people signed, you know, like scheduled, and some really exciting show guests for 2018. I'm looking forward to financial growth. I'm looking forward to personal growth and professional growth. I'm looking forward to vision manifestation and walking in my purpose. So high five to 2018 for myself and for everybody listening, all of my friends and family. We coming for you 2018, girl. High five, high five. That's all I have for y'all today. Thank you so much for tuning in. Y'all know how much I love and appreciate each and every one of you for taking out your time to listen to my little show here. I appreciate you. I really do. Make sure that you like, follow, share, subscribe, download, let everybody know, hey, they got this girl over here and she sounds like she knows what she's talking about, and you might want to check her out. Make sure you share me with your people. Follow me on Instagram, Twitter, even though I don't really spend a lot of time on Twitter, but I am on there. Instagram, Twitter, and now Facebook at Unicorns Talk Pod. You can shoot me an email if you have a question that you would like for me to address here on the show, or if you have a show topic that you would like for me to discuss, you can shoot me an email at Unicorns Talk Podcast at latricesampsonrichards.com. Check out my Facebook group. Oh, the masterclass. I almost forgot to tell y'all about the masterclass. It is official. The Empower Your Vision Masterclass 2018 is on and popping. Pre-registration actually started last night for my group members, those members that are in Trust Village. That's one of the perks of being in the group. You get first dibs. And so tonight it's going to go out to anyone that's on my email list. And then starting on Friday, it's going to be open to the world for pre-registration. It is a free masterclass to help you to really get your life in order. I mean, we're talking about everything from self-love and self-discovery to creating a clear plan for your future in terms of creating a vision for yourself and things like that. So I'm really excited about it. I've worked very hard on it. The live events is going to be 4 live events with a possible bonus question and answer session at the end, depending on the need, okay? But it's going to be 4 live events. The live events, if you pre-register, are going to be 100% free, okay? But the replays are, it's going to cost you, all right? So make sure that you pre-register. Check me out on all of the social medias, and I will be sending out the links very soon for that. Or you can sign up for my email list. Go to latricesampsonrichards.com, sign up for the email list, and make sure you get on that list in order to get the registration link for that. What else? I think that's it. Yeah. That's all I got for y'all today. I love you and I appreciate you. And until next time, be well. See y'all in 2018.